Welcome back to a brand new episode of Mastering Programming. In today's episode, I will be showing you how you can use date pickers and how to format it to show exactly that kind of information that you want. As you can see, we can click on this, we can select a day, we can select a year, we can select a month, and as you can see, if I go ahead and dismiss this, we will actually have that date presented at exactly the format that we wanted. I will also show you multiple other forms such as the full date, even displaying what kind of time zone it is, and everything you can probably think of when it comes to time and SwiftUI. If this is something that you're interested in, make sure you continue watching this video and leave a subscribe down below. Welcome back, guys. So the first thing we need to do is actually create a state variable, and I'm simply going to say add state, and I will call this date, and it will be of type, obviously you guessed it, date. Let's go ahead and obviously remove this text, and I will first add a VStack, and we obviously need to display that date to someone once we pick it using the date picker. So I will simply create a text, and inside of here I will pass in that date object that we created at the top, just like this. Now after that, that's when we actually include our date picker. So I'll simply insert date picker, open and close a bracket. Inside of here we are going to have some placeholder text, so I will simply actually let's go ahead and show you how it goes from here. Now localized string key, that means we are just going to be putting some placeholder text, so I'll simply say enter a date. After that, for the selection, we simply need to put the object that we created at the top, so I will pass in date. Now let's just go ahead and run this and see what will happen. And if I go ahead and run it, and you can see that we do have a date pick over here, and as you can see, it is presented, but it's presented in such a long string. For example, if I go ahead and click on this, I can change it. Let's say we want to go year 2000, we want to go to January, and we then need to go on the 15th, and we can actually, by the way, change the time as well. So I will leave it as 12 PM for example. As you can see, the date does change. This does work, but it does get presented in such a long time. Saturday, January 15th, 2000 at 12 PM, Australian Eastern Daylight Time. That's a lot. What if we want to just present some pieces of here? Now, in order to do this, we'll get back, and what we need to do is we need to create a date formatter. So I'll create another variable, and I will call it date formatter. And this will be a type of date formatter. And we are going to open and close a zigzag bracket. Now this might throw some errors at you. Do not stress about it just now. And what we need to do is we simply, inside of here, we are going to create a formatter. And we're going to say that it's equivalent to a date formatter. After that, we're going to say that that formatter will have a style of dot long, and I will show you exactly. Actually, let me just put a dot, and as you can see, we do have a couple of other styles here. I will go ahead and simply say dot long just to show you first, and then we obviously have to return that formatter in order to use it. Okay, cool. So this is now done, and as you can see, we are done of our errors, but we need to do some stuff to our date picker in order to actually use this. So what I will do is I will simply remove this and then insert date picker, open and close the bracket. Inside of here, we're going to pass the selection as our first parameter, and I'll simply continue by saying selection, and then we're going to be passing that date that we created, same one at the very beginning, and we're going to say in, and I want you to say dot 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 date, and I'll explain exactly what this does later on. After that, what you need to say is display components, and we're simply going to say slash date, and we're going to open and close a bracket just like this. After that, we're going to say text, and we are going to say select a date. Alright, so now we have this. Let's go ahead and check what will actually happen if we click on run, and you might be a little bit surprised. It's still the same thing. So although we do have the date changed and we're not displaying the time anymore, it's still being presented in the exact same way. So again, how do we change this? Well, notice that right here, we are still presenting that same date. We're not actually using any of the formatting that we used. To do that, all I will simply do is I will come over here and I will say formatter. Oops, sorry. Formatter. And I will say date for matter, just like that one. And obviously we will have an error, and that's because it was just meant to be formatter. Now if we go ahead and actually run this, and I'll click on play, and then we can just start it, it will say select a date. As you can see, it's only saying September 27th, 2020. Let's go ahead and change this to anything else. Let's say March, and let me just show you something. If I go and try select another year, it actually won't let me, and that's because we added this in and then date. So it's saying only select the dates until today's date. If you go ahead and remove this, it will be fine and you'll be able to select further dates. But let's go ahead and select something at the back, and if I click, as you can see, it does actually change. Let's go ahead and try this again, 2009. And if I go ahead and select 4th, for example, as you can see, it does change. Let's go ahead and just quickly explore some of the other options that we have. So this was long. If I go ahead and type in, and let's go ahead and select short, for example, and click on play, click on stop. Let's go ahead and see what happens to us this time. As you can see, now it's presented in just numeric values. So we have 9/27/2020. Let's go ahead and select a different year just so we can see what's actually being changed. I will select 2015. I'll go ahead and select November. And then let's go ahead and select the 30th. And as you can see, it does exactly do that. So this is 2015. This is the 11th. Sorry, this is the 11th month, and this is the 30th of that month. One more time, let's go ahead and select something else. So let's go ahead with medium. And let's go ahead and run this, and medium is actually my personal favorite as it displays the exact information that we want. So we have September 27th, 2020, and this format will not have any sort of confusion because you can change this to another month while also selecting a different year, and we can select something like the 31st or the 2nd, and there will be no confusion. We will always know that this is the month, this is the day, and this is the year. If you enjoyed watching this video, and if you will be implementing this inside of your applications, please let me know in the comments. Leave a like, leave a comment, and make sure you do subscribe to this channel. Have a good day.